The rain had just stopped, leaving the pavement glistening under the pale glow of street lamps. A faint smell of wet concrete mixed with roasted coffee from the cafe across the street. Inside the bustling restaurant, laughter and clinking glasses filled the air. It was warm, almost too warm, the kind of warmth that made people feel comfortable, until the door creaked open. An old man shuffled in. His shoes were worn, his coat frayed at the edges, and his silver hair hung messily over tired eyes. He paused just inside the doorway, letting the chatter and warmth wash over him. For a moment he simply stood there, looking almost invisible against the polished crowd of well-dressed diners. "Excuse me," he said softly to a passing waiter. His voice cracked, not from weakness but from age. The waiter didn't answer. He just frowned and hurried away. That's when the manager noticed. A tall man with slicked-back hair and a sharp suit, he strode forward, irritation already written across his face. The room grew quieter as he raised his voice. "Get out, old man," the manager shouted, his words slicing through the hum of conversation. "This is no place for beggars. Go find a bench outside." Gasps fluttered through the room. A couple near the window exchanged uneasy glances. A young mother pulled her child closer, but no one spoke up. The old man lowered his eyes, clutching his coat tighter around his chest. "I just came to," he began. "I said out." The manager barked, stepping closer, his finger pointed like a weapon. The old man's lips trembled. For a second he seemed small, fragile, out of place in a world that had forgotten him. The silence in the restaurant was heavy, pressing, almost unbearable. Friends, have you ever seen someone humiliated in public? It hurts, not just them, but everyone watching. If you believe no one deserves to be judged by their appearance, take a second right now. Like this video, share it with a friend, and subscribe. Together, we can remind the world that respect costs nothing. The old man turned toward the door, his hand brushing the polished wood. But just before stepping out, a calm, firm voice stopped him. "Wait." The crowd turned. A younger man in a dark coat had risen from his table. His eyes were steady, his jaw set. Slowly, he walked toward the old man, then looked the manager dead in the eye. "Do you know who you're talking to?" The manager scoffed. "Some vagrant wasting my time?" The younger man shook his head. "No, this man is the owner of this building. Every brick, every tile, every chair in this place belongs to him." Gasps spread like wildfire. Forks clattered against plates. Someone whispered, "What?" The manager's face drained of color. He stuttered, "What do you mean?" The younger man pulled a folded document from his coat pocket. "This is Mr. Harper," he said, nodding to the old man. "He bought this property years ago. He's the reason this restaurant even exists. And you dared to throw him out of his own building." The old man, Mr. Harper, finally lifted his head. His eyes no longer looked tired. They burned with quiet strength. He spoke, his voice steady now. "I built this place for people to feel welcome. Not to be humiliated." The crowd erupted, not with laughter, but with applause. Diners stood, clapping, some shaking their heads at the manager's cruelty. The old man didn't feel small anymore. He didn't feel invisible. He felt seen. The manager's hands shook. He tried to stammer an apology, but the words fell flat. Shame wrapped around him like a heavy cloak. "Leave," Mr. Harper said simply, and this time it wasn't the old man walking out. It was the arrogant manager, his head bowed, disappearing into the night. Justice had spoken, not loudly but clearly. That evening, the restaurant didn't feel the same. It felt lighter, warmer, filled with a quiet respect that hadn't been there before. And as Mr. Harper sat down at the corner table, the waiters rushed to serve him, not out of pity, but out of gratitude, because they all understood the truth. You never know who someone really is. Friends, this story carries a lesson we must never forget. Never judge by appearances. Kindness protects. Humility builds bridges. Arrogance burns them. If this story touched your heart, let it live on. Subscribe, share this video with someone you care about, And together, let's make kindness louder than cruelty.